In this video, we'll talk about understanding self-reflection and its significance. Our everyday living and encounters do give us tons of opportunities to bask in self-love. From window shopping to looking at the mirrors, we're truly faced with countless occasions to adore ourselves and see how beautiful and amazing we are. And while it's indeed beautiful for us to see the beauty in appreciating ourselves for who we are, we should also take time to think of how splendid it would be if we can afford to invest a little time to shine an unveiling light on our consciousness and glance beyond our skin-deep presentations and outer legging-clad exteriors. Delving into the act of self-reflection is very vital when we're looking at our goals and actions, but the question is, how often do we consider self-reflection? What of our emotional well-being and gut feeling? How often do we check back in with them? What is self-reflection? Self-reflection can be simply explained to be the conscious act of taking an inward look at your emotions, performance, behaviors, and thoughts with the aim of improving and growing. Most times we put both our personal and professional lives at a detriment when we brush aside this act to the very bottom of our to-do list. Little do we know that our aspirations for the future, gut feelings, and current goals can be aligned with our path when we take time to practice self-reflection. With self-reflection, you'll get to understand the complex relationship that exists between your goals and emotions. And aside from the intriguing additional insight into the complex manner it provides, it can as well help you become more satisfied in your relationships, increase your productivity at your daily tasks, be better oriented, and become more focused with work when you practice it regularly. As highlighted by Robert L. Rosen, self-reflection has to do with imagining yourself in the future, reflecting on your interactions with others, thinking about your perceptions, assessing your strengths and failures, and questioning yourself about your values. Why you need self-reflection. One can never exhaust the importance of practicing self-reflection. Whether you thirst to gain a new perspective on a situation or you're in need of guidance, self-reflection is always there to help you. It can help you realign yourself with your core values and beliefs, help you refocus, and it can as well make you take breaths to relax and then continue later. At times, looking at what makes us feel purposeful and motivated is what we need to do, rather than looking for practical solutions. This could be pretty much applicable if you're attempting something a little different, maybe planning a career switch or thinking of opting in for a change of job. This is because we can feel uplifted and enjoy more satisfactory life when we're reminded of our talents and aspirations. Self-reflection gives you the opportunity to make changes that are valuable and positive, as it permits you to comprehend more beyond the surface and dig deeper. Many times our heads are often rumpled up with several different emotions, feelings, and thoughts that need to be sorted, and the beautiful thing about self-reflection, that it lets you take back control of what you've let go of mistakenly. It helps you to be honest with yourself. It helps you to get rid of negative influences as you become more equipped to take corrective actions. And all of this depicts that self-reflection does a lot more beyond making you cognizant and conscious of your feelings, emotions, and thoughts. Another beautiful benefit of self-reflection is that it helps you become honest with yourself about what you can control, and it makes you feel at peace with what you can't control. If you've constantly felt helpless, or you've always felt that there's a massive weight on your shoulders, you may want to consider practicing self-reflection, for it can help you understand that there are some things you don't have control over, and it can as well be handy in managing anxiety, depression, and stress, what you should try to avoid. Just as self-reflection can be very helpful, it can also be very harmful. For you to avoid the side effects that are likely to come with it, here are a few things that you must take note of. Don't get overwhelmed. Patience is the key when you're self-reflecting. Though it's easy to feel consumed by the need to cover anything from identity to ideals, relationships, desires, goals, and lots more, just try to focus solely on a subject. Always remember that a single session doesn't have to cover everything you need to reflect on. Create time for other sessions to reflect on other subjects too. Shift your focus from the moments. Whenever you're practicing self-reflection, it's advisable that you focus on your positive traits and not on your success or failure moments, because you're likely to arrive at needless disappointments when you analyze literal mistakes. Since you're not focusing or rewriting history, and you just want to improve yourself, you should focus on traits. Don't lie to yourself. One of the costly mistakes you can make is to lie to yourself while you're self-reflecting. Do well not to lie to yourself when you're self-reflecting so that you can reap the full and proper benefits you deserve. If you're in a volatile state, don't self-reflect. Whenever you want to carry out a deep analysis like self-reflection, make sure you're conscious of the kind of state you're in. A state of depression is a good example of a volatile state, and if you self-reflect in such a state, you're likely to arrive to false views and unreasonable decisions. In this video, we'll discover about 7 core principles for reflection. Every transformational leader must develop the habit of reflection. Reflection does help us to forge ahead in life. It helps us to take actions and to gain focus as well in our spirit. As the year is rounding off, many would have already started thinking of what they've achieved so far to be aware of how they'll start planning their resolutions. But before you start planning, it's very important that you look back with these 7 core principles, for they're quite vital for your reflections. Be positive. You gain energy for the future, learn, grow, and experience growth when you are positive while reflecting on your past. And therefore, it's often recommended that you choose to be positive while you're reflecting, since you have the power to choose how to reflect on your past. Never let the mistakes of your past make you reflect negatively. Learn to see mistakes as part of life and the necessities to grow and do better. Even failures are mere opportunities to do better, and they're experiments that propel us towards success. So with a positive spirit, look at how your past has been. Even if you've had some negative experiences, think of the lessons you've learned from them that affected you positively. Be present. You'll be able to see more objectively and separate yourself from your past when you stay mindful and present. The past is the past, and there's a reason why it's called the past. Live in the present, but you may look at the past at a distance, even though you wouldn't want to relive it. You see, our present is a gift, and they do become more meaningful and even more purposeful when we learn from the lessons of our past. Think of what you can do to pass more time in the present moment. Be perceptive. Whenever you're reflecting, it's advised that you're perceptive. Being perceptive here means that you show more desire for intuition, understanding, or insight. In this light, it's recommended that you act like an objective investigator and scrutinize your past. The past years have certainly vested some wisdom in you, and if you look inward deeply, you will see that you do have a lot to learn from your experiences. So, make sure you don't hold back from asking yourself questions that you may be afraid to, or questions you've yet to ask yourself. Be purposeful. Reflection does help us to understand and grow, and it has more potential when we start from a place of compassion. If you've been struggling with pressing on towards achieving your goals, reflection can help you renew your determination, and it can as well help to get your purpose refined. Learning from present and future engagements is the purpose of reflection, and you can always polish your purpose and get a clearer view and insights with reflection. Be perfected. The mention of perfection shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable. Of course, no one is perfect, but the reality of life is that we can always keep working on ourselves continually to become better day by day. Our past do serve as an analytical tool and helpful metrics that can guide us in the future. And irrespective of the fact that we may not be able to attain perfection, we must stay dedicated to serving our friends, families, and others better. Be proactive. Many people, despite understanding how significant and momentous reflection is, still won't be proactive to take time to reflect. Reflection helps you to learn and grow, but it demands your energy, time, and focus, which are your most precious resources. You should be ready to allocate your time and energy to reflection because it's proactive work. And if you invest in reflection, you'll certainly have more to enjoy. Be passionate. Our passion is a vibrant energy that helps us push beyond our challenges and setbacks and trivialize them to be just little things. We'll have enough energy to sustain us and carry us through if we cultivate the habit of celebrating the good tidings we experience. Likewise, we'll be able to laugh at our mistakes and cherish our successes when we live from our deepest passions. Do you wish to rekindle some passions that you've lost connection with? In recent years, what passion has sustained you? These are some questions you need to ask while you're self-reflecting to infuse passion into it. In this video, we'll talk about 10 questions you should ask yourself. Let's be honest with ourselves. It can be scary when we're thinking of how we end up where we are and feel lost and without purpose. In fact, we risk the chances of being distanced very far from where we desire to be when we're not conscious of where we're going. Self-reflection ensures that you are fulfilled, and it can help to keep you in check with your life journey. Thus, there are some important questions you must ask yourself frequently to stay en route of your path, and here they are. Number 1. Am I using my time wisely? You don't need anyone to tell you that time is precious. Everyone knows this. No matter how rich or influential you are, you can never buy time. In your life journey, one question you must always ask yourself is whether you're using your time wisely. Because if you perpetually waste your time, you're just wasting your life away. Sorry if that sounds harsh, but it's just the reality. How do you spend your time? What do you do with your time? In this modern day, most of us tend to appear as busy people. But when you ask some people what they use their time for, they'll have nothing tangible to say because they'll just keep stammering, trying to figure out what exactly is consuming their time. For some people, gossiping is what steals their time. And some will even dedicate a lot of hours to cruising and vibing on social media. Yes, it's a good thing to engage in refreshing, relaxing, and rejuvenating activities, but spending too much time on something that's not productive isn't healthy enough. It's also a substantial waste of time when you refuse to take the step to move from working at a place where you're not permitted to provide some sense of value, make use of your skills, and you're not challenged just because the pay is stable. For you to see the aspect in your life that has probably been a waste of time, take time to sit and look at where you are now, and imagine yourself in a few years from now. Number 2, am I taking anything for granted? Most of us are guilty of taking a lot of things for granted unknowingly. And this is usually because we're always craving more, and consequently, we become blind to see and appreciate the blessings that we have. When you reflect on your past misfortunes and not your present blessings, you're likely not to see the plenty which you have. The thing is, we all are often surrounded by numerous blessings which we should take pride in. From eating daily and having a roof over our head to having the support of family or friends, even when it seems like it's about to end. We all enjoy some blessings that our present circumstances tend to shield us from seeing, and it's resulting from the fact that we're naturally forward-looking. So practice gratitude. Be grateful. Look at what you have around you before you complain. Number 3, what perspective do I hold? Is it a healthy one or not? Our perspective is very important, and this is so because it's the underlying factor behind being successful, doing what's right, or if we're happy. Do you know that it's possible for you to feel thoroughly empty even if you have the world in your closet? The perspective in which you see things affects a lot of things, and therefore we must brace ourselves to see issues in a totally different light by listening to an outside perspective or stepping back. Some people are so constrained, rigid, and 100% about their perspective that they will never see from another perspective. When possible, learn to adopt new perspectives. Number 4, am I living true to myself? Steve Maraboli once mentioned that we're not being true to ourselves if our negligence not to live in alignment is spurred by the several conflicts we have in our lives. If you demystify this saying yourself, you'll realize how weighty it is. Think of it yourself. Are you living the life that you want to live? Do you think you're deceiving yourself or you're not? We must not just let things spiral away. Every now and then, our circumstances and actions must be consciously evaluated. Walk away from anything you're doing that you think may make you regret eventually. Do well to understand the why behind your actions and figure out what you're doing. Number 5, how do I wake up in the morning? There are 2 kinds of people in the world. Those who wake up in the morning feeling lazy and sad, and those who wake up feeling like they're ready for what the day brings. How do you wake up in the morning? One of the massive indicators of how happy you'll be is the first thought you have for the day. It's high time you took action if you don't understand why you don't always want to get out of bed, and you don't like looking forward to what the day brings. Number 6, what do I think about before I sleep? Some people, before they sleep, they cram their heads with tons of negative thoughts, while others bask in the euphoria of thinking of positive things. A lot of things about your life are often revealed by your last thoughts before falling asleep, because this is when you achieve a measure of clarity as you get unplugged from everything. If the thoughts you have before falling asleep are usually negative, you may want to start addressing the stressors or anything that may be causing them. Number 7, what efforts am I putting into my relationships? Humans are social animals and we need relationships to enjoy living. No one can survive alone on his or her own, and therefore we need each other. However, many of us take our relationships for granted, and as a result, they suffer deep damage. Right from the start, any relationship that wants to grow demands constant effort. But what happens when all the years of effort get thrown off in a very short time? It's very important that you strive to maintain your relationships, and you stay dedicated to that so you don't lose different, valuable individuals in your life. Appreciate the people in your life and try to stay connected with your family and loved ones, even if you're away from them. Number 8, am I taking care of myself physically? For you to keep your mind strong and clear, you must find it dutiful to keep your body in good health. This is a popular quote of Buddha, and it expresses the importance of keeping your body in good shape and taking care of your body. As we get older, we're often faced with lots of challenges and an array of responsibilities that often distract us from taking care of our bodies. However, we must be committed to taking care of ourselves because it's very important. Number 9, do I stress myself out with matters that are not in my control? Steve Maraboli once said that many people are often unhealthily attached to the things they cannot control, and therefore they're highly stressed, sick, and miserable. Remember, we once mentioned how precious our time is. Good. One of the biggest ways people waste their time and effort is by bothering themselves over what they can't control. Your mental well-being, health, and days can be ruined when you perpetually let yourself be stressed by things that are not within your realm of control. If you have worries about things that you can't control, work towards eliminating them. Number 10, am I achieving my set goals? In life, we all have our respective dreams, visions, and aspirations, but due to a lack of self-awareness, we tend to unconsciously throw away our goals. We must learn to account for the how, even as we have our eyes fixed on where and what. For us to achieve our goals, it's pertinent that we break down the steps we must take along the line and examine them closely. In this video, we'll discover about 7 ways to let go and live a happy life. Sometimes, most of us find it difficult to let go of the past and live a happy life because we're still nursing the past and we're yet to let go. Consequently, we're prompted to believe that only our past mistakes matter, as we're often brooding and losing the ability to focus on the present. Leaving the past behind you is one of the best things you can do for yourself. What you become from now shouldn't be defined by your past events or experiences. You'll be able to achieve your goals and enjoy more success when you open up a happier life by choosing to be positive, relishing in your happiness, and focusing on the present moment. Number 1, let the emotions flow. One of the wrong things we used to do is denying our emotions. We act like our emotions don't matter, and as we continue to ignore them, they begin to hurt us and gradually taunt us. Learn to let your emotions flow. Feeling your emotions is very necessary if you want to move forward. For you to let go of the past and live a happy life, find what's best for you to let your emotions flow, whether it's by screaming into a pillow or crying till you feel calm. Always remember that it's okay to cry, but be mindful of the fact that you're in control of how you feel, and you are not your emotions. Thus, don't get lost in the emotion. Number 2, don't let negative thoughts cloud your mind. Letting go of the past will become harder, and you'll be distracted from the positives in life when you unproductively engage in thinking negatively. Yes, it's good to express your emotions, but dwelling on them isn't healthy. You'll not enjoy your right to live a happy life, and self-sabotaging thoughts will continuously plague your mind if you give room to negative thoughts. You're as well likely to find yourself in a depressed state if you're constantly all about the negative. Moving on from the past can be very Herculean if you let negative thoughts abide in you, and this is why you must brace yourself to steer your mind away from these negative thoughts whenever they cross your mind. You'll see that you'll enjoy more positive results by the time you start using positive thoughts to replace negative thoughts. Number 3, learn from your experience. Your experiences are not only meant to hurt you, they also serve to help you learn and grow. You'll be able to understand what makes you happy and even learn about yourself when you learn from an experience. Whatever experiences you might have had, take away the positives from it and hold on to that. For example, let's say you were fired from your job. You can think of what's next for you and take the next step to become happier. Likewise, let's say you broke up with your partner and it was a very tough one. You can use this opportunity to look for more meaningful relationships and be more aware of what you don't want in a partner and what you need to improve upon as well. Opportunities presented by our experiences do help us to know more about how to become happier. Number 4, stop being the victim. Whatever happens to you in this life, you can choose to either see yourself as a victim or a survivor. Take note that it will be very Herculean for you to stop living in the past if you allow your thoughts to keep leading back to past traumas by having the mindset of a victim. You'll often find yourself in a state where you'll be thinking nothing will go right for you when you let your victim feelings take control of your mind. Remember that the fact that you failed before doesn't mean that you're automatically bound to fail. Rather than playing the victim, see yourself as a survivor. With this, you'll surely feel good and your mental health will improve naturally. Being a survivor means that you accept your experiences and you're ready to work and walk through them to become even better. Being a survivor also means that you choose not to be defined by your past. Number 5, don't wait for an apology. Learn to forgive and forget. When someone offends you, don't be so particular about waiting for that person to come and apologize to you. It isn't helpful when you have this idea or mentality stuck into you because it will make you hold on tightly to the past, and secondly, it will make you hurt yourself more. You deserve a happy life, and the mistake of someone else shouldn't stop you from getting the happiness you deserve. Whatever happened has happened. Let your focus be on you moving forward. What's even the guarantee that the person that offended you will come back to apologize to you? So, if there's no guarantee, why must you wait till eternity expecting an apology? Don't waste your time over apology expectations, because it will hurt you more, and it can keep you trapped in your past. Number 6, expand your view of yourself. How well do you know yourself? It's high time you started learning what makes you happy and get to know who you are. Shift more time and attention to yourself. Learn and love with passion. Take risks and partake in rejuvenating activities. Don't be shy to put yourself out there and get to know more about who you are. Learn to love who you are now, be kind to yourself, and treat yourself well. You can make yourself a nice meal, go for a solo walk in the park, take yourself out to lunch, or do anything that makes for a nice alone time. Number 7, live in the moment. Many people bother too much about what people will think of them, or what will happen soon, that they'll always miss out on living in the moment. Earnestly and wisely, live in the present moment. Don't anticipate troubles. Don't worry about the future. Don't mourn for the past. This is one of the wise sayings of Buddha, and it's a secret to a healthy body and mind. Whatever you're doing, make the most out of it. The moment you're in now, bask in it. Enjoy the present. Tomorrow can wait. Let the past be the past. Focus on yourself and your doings. However, you may want to develop a mindfulness meditation practice if you're finding it difficult to live in the present. In this video, we'll talk about how to let go of toxic people in your life. You shouldn't think twice before you remove yourself from unpleasant circumstances and toxic people, because it's a necessary thing for your physical, emotional, and mental being, and it's okay for you to protect your health. Sometimes you may not be able to fully recognize a toxic person, and this person can make you feel isolated and inadequate with the degree of distress he or she creates. Toxic behavior is what is often exhibited by a toxic person, and the more you keep toxic people in your life, your ability to heal from them may be hindered. Toxic people misrepresent your worth. They'll misrepresent reality to you and run from accountability. Nevertheless, take note that you'll only give room for toxicity growth if you don't take necessary actions but allow your values to be dismissed by toxic people. Whether the toxic person is your family member, friend, or partner, being in a toxic relationship with them will make you feel less good about who you are. You'll feel unsafe sometimes. You'll feel unheard, and it will seem as if your effort or time means nothing. There is a handful of reasons why many stay in toxic relationships. For some people, it may be because of an unhealthy cycle of abuse, or they're partially stuck in a pattern. Others who find themselves codependent try to be a people pleaser, fear conflict, resist change, have a lack of boundaries, or see themselves as a burden, are likely to stay in a toxic relationship too. It may not be easy to let go of toxic people, but you must brace up yourself to do so. And here are 4 simple steps to follow to let go. Recognize the red flags. You would have probably heard the word red flag several times, but in this case, note that we're not talking about countries or any sport. Red flags simply have to do with the traits that you see in a person that make them toxic. It can also be like a feeling you get or a sense of distrust or dissatisfaction. It's best if you can detect their behaviors as soon as you can, and you'll be able to know if the person is trying to manipulate you or not by evaluating the person after you've identified the red flags. Here are some examples of red flags. The person may abuse you verbally and or physically. The person repeats the same patterns of behavior repeatedly after you give a second chance. The person is the victim and you're the villain. The person lies outrightly about anything, even if you catch him or her red-handed. The person gets mad when you say no and ignore your boundaries. The person doesn't appreciate the goodness you provide while trying to be dear and care less about reciprocating. Whenever you're around the person, you tend to feel drained or used. The person sabotages your self-esteem and points out imperfections. The person is narcissistic and puts himself or herself first. Set boundaries. Now that you've been able to identify the red flags, the next step you must take is to set boundaries. An important part of self-care is setting boundaries, and you can leave any time. You can set both physical boundaries and even emotional boundaries. Let go of that toxic person and set up a healthy emotional distance. Is this person even listening to you? Is he or she fulfilling your needs? Are you respected? Tell the person how you feel and don't walk on eggshells. Do well to cut off the connection completely if the toxic person can't hear you out. However, you may at first set some boundaries for this person and pull back if this individual is in your inner circle. Nevertheless, if at all you want to consider giving the person a second chance, you must do this with a lot of caution because this person is likely to replay his or her former behaviors or actions if he or she is made to believe that she can get away with anything. Invest in yourself. An investment in yourself is the best investment you can ever make. As a matter of fact, loving yourself should be your greatest ambition. Have a sense of purpose. Surround yourself with positive support. Set goals and take care of yourself. These are some of the little ways you can invest in yourself. Know that you're more than a million. You deserve to be loved and you are worthwhile. For you to be able to let go of toxic people easily, you must have self-love. Know when forgiveness is possible. It's very possible that the person in question will make attempts to prove his or her worth. Maybe the person suffers from insecurity due to their inflated ego. The person has no idea what a healthy relationship looks like. The person has some issues he or she is dealing with that makes him or her forget to be good to you, or made some mistakes that make him or her appeal horrible. If the person tenders an apology, you can see that as a good place to start from. Now, be watchful of the person's actions. Is he or she just trying to manipulate you? Are you actually seeing changes? Are you seeing convictions that the decision to change is indeed true? Don't be swiftly deceived by the person's perceived personality or image, but you must start trusting the person again once he or she starts doing the right thing. However, even if the person shows remorse or vulnerability, ensure that you are sure there is growth and time has passed before you start forgiving the person. More so, it's important that you understand what forgiveness really entails. The fact that you forgave someone doesn't mean that you have to do anything you don't want to do. Let the person back in. Accept the same harmful behaviors from someone, or go back to the same relationship. Forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It's just a simple release of anger or resentment. Proceed with caution if you must give that person a second chance, but just to be clear, you can forgive the person without welcoming him or her back into your life again. And lastly, have it registered in your mind that forgiveness is essential for you and not for that person. In this video, we'll discover about things to do when you find it hard to let go. Many people who are suffering from emotional pain are often consoled with the expression, "Time will heal your wound." And as a result, a lot of people have accepted that very soon. Time will wipe away their fear, guilt, sadness, anger, and anguish. Nevertheless, not everyone is fortunate to find their wounds healed by time. A lot of people find it difficult to move on or let go at a particular point in their lives, irrespective of the fact that the passage of time is likely to ease one's pain a bit. For us to heal more quickly, it's crucial that we do something to help ourselves, because it's what we do with time that changes us, and time itself isn't what changes us. For us to move towards a happier, more fulfilling life, here are a few things we can do. Counsel yourself to let go and move on. You need to brace yourself to let go. You can't continue living as a slave of the past. For you to let go, you must decide that you must move forward, and have it registered in your mind that some people are not a part of your destiny, even if they may be a part of your history. Number 2, go out with friends or family. If you're finding it difficult to let go and move on, you can find solace and comfort from your friends and family. You can gain a fresh and different perspective on things when you go out with the people you love and share how you feel with them. They'll give you the listening ears you need and help to revive your energy. Number 3, learn a new skill. At times, one of the reasons why you find it difficult to let go is because you're not busy. Rather than wasting time brooding over what you should actually let go of, get involved in the process of learning. With this, you'll even get to see new opportunities to take advantage of. You'll gain different viewpoints to explore, and you also grow and learn. Number 4, engage in a physical activity. When you find it difficult to let go, you can engage in any form of exercise, be it yoga or aerobics. Exercise can lower symptoms that are related to mild depression and anxieties, improve your mood, increase your self-confidence, and boost your brain's feel-good neurotransmitters. Number 5, plan a trip. Treat yourself to a scenic difference and escape from your surroundings for a month or maybe a week. Things will not become right when you confine yourself, and you can feel quite better when you change the environment. Number 6, explore new avenues and see new people. See, it's because you're still holding on tightly to what you should let go of that makes you think you can be better or things can get better than this. There are tons of people you can invite into your life, and the world always has lots of new things to offer. Meeting new people and going out is a great way to move on. Try to encourage yourself to meet new people. You can join a special interest group, get involved in community activities, or join a networking group. 7, cry it out. When you find it difficult to let go, crying can be very helpful, and it can as well serve to flush out negative chemicals in your body. Nevertheless, take note that the idea isn't just to cry and keep crying. Once you're done crying, clean your face, get up, and bask in the understanding that life goes on, and there are still more exciting events awaiting you. Number 8, forgive. For you to be free to move on, you need to forgive the universe, forgive yourself, and forgive others. Whenever you want to let go and move on, you cannot shrug back the need to forgive, because it's very essential. Just as Steve Maraboli had said, you cannot move forward if you fail to see that the situation is over. Forgive the situation, forgive yourself, and let go. Number 9, accept the situation. Acceptance opens liberation doors to you. You'll find peace when you accept what you can't change and what has happened. When you try to fight to change things, you'll make yourself suffer more damage and sorrow, because before you can unlock the door to happiness, you must accept things as they are. You'll be able to make improvements to yourself, take control of your life, and stop hurting when you accept. Number 10, use a creative outlet to express your feelings. There are diverse creative means you can explore to transform your negative emotions. The negative emotions that are lingering in you can be combated by your creativity. From painting to blogging and vlogging and others, find whatever's best appealing to you and use it to express or release your feelings. In this video, we'll talk about things that will happen when you start to let go of your past. Many of us have experienced great pain and sadness caused by the loss of someone or something. It may be a relationship that we value and hope that it would eventually change for the better, but when the toxicity becomes more painful and causes more hurt, we must learn to let go. However, letting go has never been easy, and we still often feel attached to the past because we're not sure of what the future will bring. Our level of comfort with the known is another thing that enjoins us to try to bear with the pain and hurt rather than letting go. For instance, if you ask someone in an abusive relationship why he or she has refused to let go, he or she would probably tell you that the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. And this feeling of uncertainty tends to make us hold on to the past and resist change. Letting go is a process that takes time, but when you decide to start the journey, you'll realize that some beautiful things will start happening to you. Number 1, you will get to see a new positive version of yourself. As humans, we have so much power that we don't even know about. Though this power isn't about doing magic or making the night turn to day, we do have the power to alter and define our memories, and the decisions we make are also a reflection of the power we have. Thus, it's up to us to change our future and choose what we want to spend time focusing on. There's this powerful new positive version of your life that will be created by your memories and mind when you choose to let go of what is hurting you. Number 2, you will make room for the new. You'll be ushered into an interesting and refreshing chapter of growth in your life. Get to meet new and amazing people, get new visions, and become drawn towards new goals when you choose to let go of the past. You're basically forfeiting your present when you constantly replay your past. We're not purposed to live a static life because we have room for more growth, and there's a reason why life often propels us towards more growth. Number 3, you will handle new obstacles with grace. What is done is done. Your past isn't meant to be an eternal punishment but a learning experience. You'll be able to easily let go and move on, and even handle your next challenges without breaking a sweat if you've once been able to push through those difficulties. They say that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger and wiser, and this is just it. Number 4, you will learn to love yourself first. As earlier mentioned, self-care and self-love is very important. Aside from the fact that it helps us build our self-esteem, it also makes us appreciate ourselves for who we are. When you don't love yourself, there's nothing another person can do that will make you love yourself more unless you just want to deceive yourself. Loving yourself first is the key to feeling loved, and one of the main reasons why so many people stay in hurtful relationships is because they don't love themselves, and they need to lean on another person before they can see the love. Tragic. Number 5, you will inspire others. How great would it be to be a source of inspiration to others out there who are experiencing the same thing you've been through? In fact, you'll always feel good when you get to meet tender, kind-hearted, and smiling souls that are in the shoes that you've once been, and you will always inspire them to move on too. You'll become an inspiration to many, and you'll be living proof that letting go is very much feasible. Number 6, you will grow closer to your destiny. Though some people may have contrary opinions, I do believe that there's a reason why we're here on Earth. Life makes us stronger through all the challenges, tribulations, burdens, hardships, and experiences we've had. Have a mindset that everything you go through is designed to make you grow, and life is teaching you more with all the learning experiences you're getting. Number 7, you'll naturally attract what you need. When you let go of what you should, it's natural that the things you need and deserve will get attracted to you. For example, if you're in a relationship where you're abused and not appreciated, it's until you let go that you'll find someone that will treat you better. Have faith that when the time is right, what you need will come to you. Number 8, you'll get to see for yourself that all you need is you. It's impossible for you to lose something that you are, but you may lose something that you have. When you let go, you'll get to understand that you've always been sufficient for yourself. Yes, it's good to be in a loving, supportive, and blissful relationship, but think of others that are not in a relationship. Do you think they're not happy? Love and attachment are two different things, and you'll be able to build an independent life and find joy in your interests and who you are and when you let go. In this video, we'll discover about 15 practical ways to start working on self-improvement. Self-reflection gives birth to self-improvement. Once you've been able to reflect and move on from the past, the next step is to proceed to improve yourself. Thankfully, there are several means to improve yourself if you care about your growth. As a human, you can be even better whenever you think you are good, and because the human potential is limitless. You'll always find something about you that's worth improving. Here's some practical ways to improve yourself. Number 1, read every day. You'll be exposed to more wisdom when you read more books. Affirmed to be concentrated sources of wisdom. Books make you wiser, and they also make your mind travel. 2, learn a new language. It's a mind-opening experience when you choose to learn a new language and culture. The world is fast becoming a multicultural place, And learning a language is a skill that will definitely pay you in the long run. Number 3, pick up a new hobby. Whether emotionally, mentally, or physically, you'll be able to stretch yourself in different aspects when you learn something new. From web design and wine appreciation to dancing, Italian cooking, and poetry, there's a wide array of recreational hobbies you can pick on beyond your usual favorite hobbies. 4, take up a new course. Online courses, workshops, and seminars are examples of courses you can take. Courses serve to help you improve yourself with the new knowledge and skills you'll gain from them. Number 5, create an inspirational room. When you have a space that is inspiring and welcoming, you'll feel inspired every day. To begin with, you can commit to investing in some comfortable furniture, buying a few nice paintings for the walls, or putting on a new coat of paint. Living in an inspirational environment is very beneficial. Number 6, overcome your fears. Whether we accept it or not, we all have fears. No matter how built you are or how strong you see yourself, there's a high chance that you'll still fear something. The thing about fears is that they hinder us from improving, and they tend to keep us in the same position. Whether you have a fear of risk, fear of public speaking, or fear of uncertainty, pay attention to recognizing what your fears are and take action to work on them. Number 7, level up your skills. For you to level up your skills, you must foremost be sure of the skills you have. Once you're sure, encourage yourself to become better and stronger by leveling up. Level up your public engagement abilities if you're a public speaker. Level up your writing skills if you're a blogger or a freelance writer. And the list goes on and on. Number 8, wake up early. They say early to bed is early to rise. So for you to wake up early, you already know what you should do. There are lots of benefits you stand to enjoy when you cultivate the habit of waking up early. Foremost, your brain will get to switch into its active mode with the early morning sunlight it absorbs. Secondly, you'll be able to soak up the morning tranquility. Thirdly, you'll get to add extra time to your day. When you're up before others, you enjoy more time to spare for your self-improvement, which can positively affect your quality of life and improve your productivity. Number 9, exercise weekly and have a routine. Exercises are very crucial for a healthy lifestyle. To prevent boredom and muscle strain, do well to mix your exercises up. Number 10, start your life handbook. A lot of people don't even know what a life handbook is, but you need not fret over that. Your goals, your values, your purpose, and all the things on how you can live your life to the fullest are the essentials that are contained in this life handbook. You can see it as a manual that helps you to improve yourself consistently and live your best life. Number 11, write a letter to your future self. Many people might find this to be somewhat funny or childish, but trust me, it really works. After you've learned how to improve yourself, what kind of person will you be? In the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? When you write a letter to your future self, you'll feel more aligned and dedicated to working towards that person you want to be in the near future. So write the letter, seal it, and start working towards it. Number 12, move from your comfort zone. You'll become stagnant and unable to grow when you're too relaxed and comfortable. Do you know why this is so? This is simply because sweat and hard work precede growth, and no real growth can happen without them. Thus, make a dish you've never tried. Go hiking on a trail you've never been to, or just do anything that you haven't tried out before. Number 13, put someone up to a challenge. Healthy competitions do aid growth. You can compete with a friend on anything you wish to improve on. It may be a financial challenge, reading books, exercise, weight loss, or even anything. Competition aids self-improvement, and it's a great way to grow. And in the long run, you and the person you competed with will enjoy the benefits of going through the process. Number 14, identify your blind spots. You'll be able to discover your areas of improvement when you discover your blind spots. The things about yourself that you're not aware of are your blind spots in terms of personal development. Number 15, ask for feedback. Do you ever wonder why people in various businesses are always particular about getting feedback from their customers? It's simply because they understand the value of feedback. You'll be able to learn how to improve yourself with the additional perspective given by asking for feedback. These blind spots, which they make you see, are what you'll take note of and try to improve. People who can give their feedback objectively, without being biased, can be your boss, colleagues, family, and friends. Acquaintances can be helpful too. In this video, we'll talk about 10 simple ways to make self-improvement that will change your life. Now that you've been properly briefed on the ways to start working on self-improvement, it's important that you get to know the habits that you can cultivate that will affect your life positively. Massive changes aren't what self-improvement is all about. At times, it can also be the little things you do. Nevertheless, take note that you'll need willingness, determination, and consistency to take on the challenge to improve yourself. Number 1, be willing to work hard. There's an African proverb that says, "Whatever we don't work hard for doesn't last long." And this saying communicates the need for us to put our minds and strength in things we do. Yes, we're in an era of soft work, but in life, there are some processes we must go through, and we must ready ourselves to work hard. You've got to work hard to get anything you want in life. If you speak with successful people, they'll certainly tell you how they worked hard to be where they are now. Nevertheless, you must understand that working hard doesn't mean that you should engage in something that will ruin your personal life, leave you exhausted, or burn the candle at both ends. Number 2, have friends who you can talk to. Everybody needs somebody. In this world that's replete with different troubles and challenges, we all need someone that we can talk to. Beyond the need to talk to someone, your friends will also be able to let you know how you're doing. Having people around you, especially the ones that you respect their opinions, is very good. And make sure that just as you have people that will be straight with you when they should, you also as well have cheerleaders you can gladly share the load with. Number 3, rather than overthinking, adapt to your circumstances. There are times in life that we must brace ourselves to accept our situation and adapt to the circumstances, rather than overthinking. Maybe your partner has left you, you lost your job, or whatever hard period you hit, what you focus on is very important. Therefore, we recommend that you look at the brighter side, rather than making a drama out of your circumstances. Number 4, use your time wisely. Time is life. Whoever wastes his or her time is unavoidably wasting his or her life. Whether we like it or not, on this earth that we're in, we only have 24 hours a day, and we certainly aren't getting more than that. So how we make use of it is what matters. Whether you sleep all through the day, watch movies throughout, or take time to develop yourself, it's what you invest your time in that will reflect in your life. Thus, do well to use your time wisely. From meditating and learning a new language to going for a walk, it's advisable that you try something new rather than just waste away your free time repeatedly over things that are not productive. Number 5, always be consistent. Some people say variety is the spice of life, but I love to say that consistency is the force of life. Whatever it is you want to do or want to be, it takes consistency for you to be able to reach that successfully. The celebrities you know today have their past when they were struggling, when it almost seems that life wasn't kind to them. But today they're very rich and recognized. How did they manage to pull through? They were consistent. When you commit, stick to it. And always be consistent with whatever you do, because consistency will make you happier, boost your confidence, and improve your life greatly. Number 6, go and find your happy place. Before you get the definition of the happy place wrong, it's important that you understand that going to your favorite restaurant to munch happily or popping to your local bar isn't what best describes this word. Now, wherever you feel contented, wherever you lose yourself, wherever you find peace is your happy place. Once you've been able to realize what brings you happiness and what you love doing, go there. You find your happy place through meditation. Number 7, embrace all your emotions. You need to embrace your emotions every time. Always be mindful of the saying that what you resist persists. And this should encourage you not to resist or dismiss your emotions like they're nothing. You need to learn a healthy way to let go of your emotions, and it all starts with understanding why they're there and embracing them. Number 8, help others. Giving helps you see how blessed you are. It helps to distract you from your worries and troubles, and it also gives you a sense of contribution and purpose. You help yourself too when you give to others, and don't hold back from lending a helping hand when you can. Number 9, live in the present moment. Most of us are often thinking of how we could have done well in the past, and if we're not thinking of our actions in the past, we're busy getting worked up on how tomorrow will look like. Live with the consciousness that only the present moment exists, and you'll be able to see the beauty in the simplest things and appreciate all that you have. Number 10, go to new places. Travel a bit. If you're someone that does the same thing every day, you visit the same streets, you see the same people and stay in a place too often, now is the time you go outside. There's a life beyond your backyard. Do well to try to experience new places, and go and check out some of the amazing wonders of the world. The goal of self-reflection is to help us move forward, but sometimes, most of us are still struggling with our past, and we're finding it difficult to let go of some things that we should let go. We even tend to make matters worse by being untruthful to ourselves. Therefore, it's very essential that you learn to let go and apply these mentioned practical ways to improve yourself. Self-reflection helps you to be more conscious of your general state of mind, behavior, goals, and a host of other essentials. In your own way, make sure you develop the daily habit of reflection, because it will help you learn from your mistakes, give you great ideas, help you help others, make you happier, and give you a perspective.